Hey guys, so this is a build I've done. It is a combination between the Explorer and the Deluxe Tinker. I love both knives, especially the Deluxe Tinker, but the Deluxe Tinker has the Phillips on the back, a 90-degree Phillips, so I think that's not adequate, like almost useless. So that's why I wanted the inline Phillips. I didn't want to go any thicker than the Deluxe Tinker, so I wanted both features from the Explorer, the inline Phillips, and I wanted also from the Deluxe Tinker. I wanted the pliers, and I think I've done it. It is thin. There are not two thick layers. There's just one thick layer, and I grounded off the base of the inline Phillips from the Explorer. I used two thicker liners, two thicker spacers, and also this last spacer is not a full spacer, so it is cut out there to accommodate the Phillips. So I'm gonna go over it. When I first started, I thought I was just gonna base it on the compact. I like the file on the back of the hook from the compact. I wanted that. And I also thought I was gonna use the combi tool. I think I prefer smaller blade because I went with the thinner Phillips layer. I didn't use the magnifying glass, so I just went with the cap lifter, so I didn't need a combi tool. It is as compact as the Deluxe Tinker, but it has more tools. So you have the small blade, the big blade. You have the awesome Victorinox scissors, the nice pliers, very useful. There's a ton of videos out there of how useful they are. Then I have the cap lifter pry tool flathead, which I'm probably going to sharpen here just so I can use it as a can opener too. I think that's a good compromise. Now we have the inline Phillips. If you're going to have a Phillips, like 50% of the cases, if it's on the back and it's a 90-degree, you won't be able to use it. But like this is a very functional inline Phillips. You have the pocket clip. That's the good thing that I went with the thinner layer here, the opener layer. Having done this mod here on the Phillips, is that it gave me the eyelet here so I can install a pocket clip. And also I didn't lose the awl. So the awl is here. The corkscrew with a mini flathead screwdriver, the pin, the multi-purpose hook with the file. You have the tweezers, the toothpick, the pen, and there were some small modifications. I'm going to show you how the whole process of me modifying this. This spacer here is a thin spacer. So the pliers has a pivot rivet here, which rubbed, so I had to grind a little bit of it, which is fine. Then I used the thicker spacer for strength, and then another thicker spacer. I modified this spacer a little bit. I had to grind off a little bit of this corner here. Also from the Phillips, I took it out of the Explorer. I had to grind a little bit of this edge here, a little bit of this spacer here, and the spring from the opener layer, which I have one right here. It's like this, if you look at it like that. So all I had to do here was grind this corner here. So I went from here all the way to here. I grounded it, and it works perfectly. Now what I could do is replace the small blade with like a nail file. I could go with something like this, another pry tool with a nail file, or I could replace it with a combo tool. I could replace it with the combo tool and install something else here. I don't know, but this suits me just fine for now. This doesn't rest on the plastic scale. It rests on this shoulder here, rests on the edge of the liner, the thicker line, and also here. So I think I've achieved quite a lot because, as I said, it's not thicker than the Deluxe Tinker, but you have more tools. I'm going to show you a little bit of the disassembly and the assembly. Anyone can do it, and you're going to get a lot more out of this tool. What do you guys think? Let me just show you all the tools. You have the toothpick, the tweezers, the pen, the corkscrew with a mini screwdriver, flathead, the pin, the multi-purpose hook with the nail file, the awl, pocket clip, the inline Phillips, the flathead wire stripper. I'll just sharpen this. It's gonna be a can opener too. It is more than 10 tools if you count them all. If I will do that, then it's gonna be, this tool is gonna be 3 tools. This tool, basically 2 tools because there's a nail file here. The awesome pliers, the perfect scissors, the small blade. I think in many ways I use it more than the main blade. So let's count them. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm counting it as a tool because I think it's a tool. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18 if I'm gonna make it into a can opener. So it's a lot of tool for such a small, compact design. Okay, what do you guys think? Hey guys, so what I want to do is make a custom SAK Victorinox. So I already started, didn't started filming just now unfortunately, but this is what I've done so far. So I have a couple of Victorinox Swiss Army knives that I wanted to get certain tools out of to build my custom one. This is how I did it. So first of all, you want to remove the scales, which is pretty easy. You just want to soak them in warm water for a few minutes, like 10 minutes, or I used the blow dryer just until they were nice and warm. After that, all I did was use another knife and just pried it in between the scales and the knife and just popped it off in like 3 places. Came off really nice and easy. It looked like this afterwards. Okay, then you're left with this rivets here. So 4 rivets. These 2 big ones they're bigger and these 2 ones are smaller. So I used like a 2.4 and a 2.8 millimeter drill bit for the rivets that have the ring around them. This type of rings. So this is what I've done here. I balled the middle and I went right through them. They come right off. I have one more to do on this one. And then you just start popping them off layer by layer. This is what I have so far. I want to build off of this one. This is a compact. So I have one more rivet here that I'm gonna drill out, and you can save the rings. They're totally fine. They're not even scratched or anything. This rivet here in the middle doesn't have a ring on. Okay, so let's keep going. Now you just remove the spacers. And you just keep them in the right orientation and stack them. You can just then remove the layers and customize them as you wish. So after I'm gonna replace these 4 rivets with longer ones. I think I'm gonna be adding thicker spacer. I'm gonna add this. I'll add pliers and Phillips. Okay, let's see. So what you're gonna need next is 2 brass rods of 2.5 millimeters and 2 brass rods of 2.2 millimeters. And you just start removing everything, the tools, and build your own custom ones. Try to keep the pins in place. I had a hard time with them because they're not riveted on the other side. And slowly build up your for the first layer, getting everything to sit in place, the pins and everything. It's a little bit of work. There is some cussing involved. That's the first bit done. So this is what I'm left with now. So I started off as a compact. I replaced the combo tool with a secondary blade. Then I just left the scissors, so that layer is the same. Then I added pliers. Then I added a thicker spacer. I went with the Phillips bottle cap opener that I can modify later. The Phillips is thicker, so I had to grind a little bit of the base here. And I also used the last liner thicker one, which I cut out here. That's why I went with a different spring for the Phillips layer. Let me show you. So the spring because I wanted the awl. I wanted to keep the awl, so I can keep the awl. I have a flathead pry tool, and all I did, as you can see, is grind off a little bit of the Phillips, and I went with the thicker on the end. So this is what I'm left with. I'm gonna use the scales from the compact because it has also the pan. On the back, there's a corkscrew, there's a partial hook, the file, and there's also the awl. Okay, all that's left now is for me to reuse these rivets. Just slide them on the end, cut them short, and hammer them flush. And then I can just put the scales back on. It's not thick at all. Well, without the scales. So I put the little rings for the rivets on. You need 3 of them. This one's smaller, these 2 are bigger. And now I'm just going to cut them. I use some tape so they don't fall out. And then I'm gonna use a hammer on this piece of iron. I'm just gonna rivet them in place. Okay, let's do that. I'm just gonna cut them proud. I'll use an angle grinder. You can use a Dremel. I find this way more efficient. Okay, so as you can see, I cut them just like a millimeter proud on each side. Let's start riveting them. I'll just use a punch. So I'm done riveting them in place. Slight adjustments here and there. Anyway, it's what I wanted. Let's put the scales back on. These are the plus scales. And I really want it on the last layer. The Phillips, the inline Phillips. Also, I have the awl and this eyelet here that I can put this pocket clip on. So this is my mod. I hope it's gonna help someone. What do you guys think? Bye.